politicians, and even people in the prosecuting authority, the NPA. So has this been delayed because of these people, hoping it will just go away and be swept under the carpet? I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's my take. Harold Durban.
Sakina, it would appear that if you need some firearms, you just pop down to the Simonstown military base and help yourself. 3 men just walked in there recently, walked off with 19 firearms, and were subsequently arrested by villagers in the Eastern Cape, would you believe, who reported them to the police. Of course, the SANDF is blaming Arms Corps, and Arms Corps is blaming SANDF, and there's been absolutely no reports of any further work done on the 3 suspects, who I suspect by now, with our dysfunctional courts, are probably back on the streets, and nothing further will happen. But it would be nice to see if the SANDF is in fact going to do anything about this at all, or at least put a lock on the gate at the shipyard. Mike Newlands.
Sakina and Plus FM listeners, good afternoon. My name is Tulani Nzima in Croydon. Sakina, so it is evident that all these commissions are nothing but rehearsed performances by those that are involved. I mean, it doesn't make sense that everybody else doesn't know, especially those that are supposed to be constitutionally given the rights to know, do not know, but they invited or summoned knows better than all of them, including the media. Just doesn't make sense. It means people are already practicing on their scriptures or the scripts basically that they are going to be delivering on the day. And they already most likely know how are they going to tell this thing and where do they want this thing to go. Cry our beloved country. ANC Senzeni.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for that. And Uncle JJ, just a quick correction there. I don't think the authorities in India have attached the properties of the Gupta brothers, but they did raid some of their properties in various cities. So we'll keep an eye on that development. Now, a quick update on this one. The ANC says it is confident that it will come out more united following engagements by the party Secretary General's office with both Limpopo's party chairperson, Stanley Matabata, and the province's leadership. Let's quickly catch up with Samkele Maseko, who's been keeping his eye on these developments. Samkele, we have about a minute or so, but please just give us a quick rundown on what happened.
Stanley Matabata, Sakina, did meet with the Secretary General of the African National Congress in the morning. After that, the Secretary General of the ANC did meet with the provincial office bearers of the African National Congress, the chairperson, the deputy chair, the secretary, the deputy provincial secretary, and the provincial treasurer. Now, in the afternoon at 4 o'clock, the full contingent of the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC in Limpopo, the PEC, will then have an engagement with the Secretary General. Afterwards, then there will be a communication on what happened within the meeting, the 3 meetings that took place, and the direction will then be charted forward, whether Stanley Matabata remains as the provincial chair or he indefinitely steps aside as the provincial chair of Limpopo.
Thank you so much, Samkele Maseko, our reporter there, watching that story for us. Well, it's 1 o'clock. That means that's all our time for today. We'll do it again tomorrow. Please take care, be safe until then, and thanks to the production team as well. Here's Onde Lambana with your latest news.
Thank you, Sakina, and the team on the top stories. COGTA called on to address ANC conflicts in a northwest municipality, and Didiza concedes MK Party's motion of no confidence in President Ramaphosa. For SAFM News, I am Onde Lambana, and a very good day. The DA in Ramotsire Moilwa local municipality in Northwest has called on the COGTA department to address what it describes as conflicts among ANC councillors in the region. Reports indicate that a group of armed men posing as security guards has seized control of the offices to protect a mayor allegedly elected during an invalid council meeting. This has disrupted the provision of some basic services in the municipality, as staff members are afraid to go to work due to intimidation from these guards. DAPR councillor in the municipality, Iman Suleiman.
They need to assist in sorting out the ANC councillors that have basically brought us on the infighting. I know they have taken the first step where they have dismissed 3 councillors, and we are now standing for a by-election which will take place on the 15th of October of the 3 councillors, because one was a ward councillor. But effectively now they need to make sure that they restore order within the council. so that this infighting that is currently taking place amongst the ANC councillors can come to an end.
National Assembly Speaker Thoko Didiza says she's still considering a request of a motion of no confidence in President Cyril Ramaphosa that was submitted by the MK party. The party submitted a request for the motion in July. The party has since revised their request that it must be done via a secret ballot. During a meeting of the National Assembly's Programming Committee, Didiza told MK party chief whip Colleen Makubele that she's still considering the request.
Your matter is being attended to. We didn't raise it on the program because we needed to respond to the party first after you had resubmitted, and then thereafter it will be duly dealt with.
A police officer and his colleague's mother have died following a domestic dispute in KwaMhlanga, Mpumalanga. The two officers, who were believed to have been in a relationship, and an altercation at a police barracks in Kwaggafontein. Later at night, the male officer allegedly went to his girlfriend's home where he shot her and her mother. The girlfriend then retaliated, fatally shooting him. The girlfriend's mother died at the scene while the female officer is in hospital. The police watchdog, the IPD, is investigating the incident. Provincial Police spokesperson Donald Mhluli.
The matter has been strongly condemned by the acting provincial commissioner of the SAPS in Mpumalanga, Major General Dr. Zef Mkhwanazi, who indicated that members of the police who experience some challenges in their relationship, they must make use of employee health and wellness and other services that are there to ensure that they don't resort to violence. However, they must resolve issues amicably.
The M23 movement has expressed disappointment that the DRC President Felix Tshisekedi has rejected the invitation to attend the African Peace and Security Dialogue hosted by the Thabo Mbeki Foundation. The dialogue is taking place in Magaliesburg, Northwest. The M23's head of delegation attending the meeting, Lawrence Kanyuka, says Tshisekedi is not willing to resolve the impasse in the DRC.
It's dreadful, awful, to have another president of the country to deny an invitation for peace is really appalling, because this initiative is very good, needed initiative to find the solutions. Mr. Tshisekedi said that he can't be distracted with foreign negotiations or dialogue, but I know through geography, Washington is known as DRC, Doha is known as DRC, they are foreign countries.
Recapping the top story, the DA in Ramotsire Moilwa local municipality, Northwest, has called on the COGTA department to address what it describes as conflicts among ANC councillors in the region. I'm Mondela Mbana for SFM News Headlines at 1:30.
Do you know what's hiding behind the colourful packaging of unhealthy food? Big food companies target children with unhealthy packaged foods that hide high levels of sugar, salt, and fat, which could lead to heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension. But the truth is hidden from consumers. Front of package warning labels are a proven solution to help consumers make informed decisions. The government must act now. We have the right to know what's in our food. Demand front of package warning labels. Sign the petition on heala.org, HEALA.org, by the 30th of September.
Bafana Bafana will host Nigeria in a FIFA 2026 World Cup qualifier at the Toyota Stadium on Tuesday, 9 September at 6 p.m. Tickets are now available nationwide and online from 70 Rand for adults and 40 Rand for children at all Ticket Pro outlets, including Spar, Postnet, and all petrol stations. Get your tickets early to avoid disappointment. Come in Bafana Bafana supporter gear, ready to sing for a win. Gates will open at 3 p.m. If you are not in Bloemfontein, catch the game on SABC2. For more information, visit safa.net and at Bafana Bafana on all social media channels.
Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday, the 23rd of July for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and a whole country affected by gender-based violence. All on your favorite SABC radio station. Call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC.
Get ready for the 26th edition of the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. 3 memorable days from the 26th until the 28th of September across 4 spectacular stages of the Sandton Convention Centre. You can join over 50 incredible world-renowned stars like Esperanza Spalding, The Ballo Project, Andile Yanana, Michelle Dangocello, Trezo, Jose James, Omar Sangari, Jasmine Hall, and the list goes on, including the likes of Nomfundo Kaluva and Benjamin Jafta. It's a wide alumni and others, and you can join everyone on a musical journey deep into the heart and art of jazz. Take me there. Get your tickets at ticketmaster.now.
The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
sitting here trying to figure out the different fusions that are at play with this particular comeback single. I mean, they're calling it a comeback single, but it's not as though he's gone anywhere. It's been 3 years since Trezo last released some fresh music, but the multi-award winning artist is back with this powerful Wale Wale track, and it's featuring Kenyan sensation Sophia Nzao. And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her surname right, so if you're Kenyan, feel free to send us a voice note with that pronunciation of Sophia's surname. But it's a beautiful song, man. It's a beautiful song. It's the first time I'm hearing it. It's got a quick, easy, catchy chorus, which means that it's definitely going to see us through the summer. And it's a mix of African pop coming through with some house fusion there as well. I think I'm also picking up on a little bit of electro dance, making it the perfect crossover track. You can definitely see it playing in stages in Greece and Ibiza, as well as obviously in clubs around Africa as well. Beautiful, beautiful song. And Trezo is actually on the lineup for the 2025 Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. We're going to be out in Sandton's Convention Center from the 26th until the 28th of September. And you can get your tickets for the festival, which are selling fast. You definitely don't want to miss it. It's 3 days, 4 stages, and over 50 artists, including Trezo himself. That's how we kick off the show today. It is The Full Circle with myself, Bridget Masinga. I hope you are having a beautiful day thus far. It's very hot. It is very, very hot, but we shall endure nonetheless. We've got a jam-packed show. We're going to be talking around Stokvels. Are you part of a Stokvel? How are you saving money for those small and big goals? It's a very big culture. It's a very big African culture. I wonder if other races in South Africa actually partake in the Stokvel sort of model, but it's very big amongst us Africans. So maybe you call it something else in your community. Who knows? But maybe essentially it's a Stokvel. So we're having that conversation. We're also going to touch base from an artistic perspective with stages, pages, screens, and more. We're celebrating the 15th Baxter Zabalaza Theatre Festival. We'll find out what's on the cards there. And then we're going to throw it to my hometown, Durban, in this first hour and catch up with the folks from the Durban Street Food Festival. On the other side of 2 o'clock, we have a touch base looking at the outcomes of the STEAM Festival, and we'll unpack more on that conversation a little bit later on. Let's take a quick pause.
The SAFM University Debate Challenge is back. The University of KwaZulu-Natal will take on the University of Zululand in what promises to be a nail-biting debate. Join us for the 1-hour debate on This Week Today with Oliver Dixon from 6 to 7 p.m. on Friday, the 5th of September 2025. The SAFM University Debate Challenge is an independent, non-partisan progressive initiative seeking to develop confident communicators, critical thinkers, and empowered global citizens. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This Heritage Month, SAFM invites you to journey into the past while shaping the future under the theme, Reimagine Our Heritage Institutions for a New Era. We celebrate the stories, traditions, and voices that define who we are as a nation. From vibrant conversations to thought-provoking debates, SAFM is where heritage meets innovation, connecting generations and keeping our culture alive in a changing world. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. The National Pulse, weekdays, 3 to 6 p.m.
What impact then has it had on your life in terms of your work as a journalist and how it's affected you practically?
Well, Emerson Mnangagwa is different from Mugabe because Mugabe tried to have a bit of sophistication. So if he wanted to come after you, he will use laws and rules that are tangible. But Emerson Mnangagwa doesn't operate like that. He can arrest you like he did to me, using a law that does not exist. And even if you've done nothing wrong, I was thrown into prison 3 times inside 6 months.
Hope will let you know, all right? Award-winning journalist.
Ashraf Garda on SAFM. Find the podcast at safm.co.za. Bridget Masinga is streaming live now on Facebook, YouTube, and X at SAFM Radio.
All right, we're catching up with Dr. Nobulali Dangazele, who's an award-winning producer and strategy consultant. And we're just having a conversation around stokvels. Umgalelo, how do you save money for your small and big goals? And also, I mean, it's hard for me to fathom that stokvels are only a black thing, right? Like, it can't just be only a black thing. Maybe you call it something else in your community. Dr. Nobulali, how are you doing today?
Hi, Bridget. I'm well, and yourself?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time. Much appreciated. I mean, we know that urban women face the challenge of saving money. And sometimes the banking system can also be a system that, there's a trust deficit there to some degree. Stokvels become a very big part of many of our communities, and particularly our black communities.
Yeah, so firstly, to your question, a lot of cultures have the practice. So in West Africa, you've got something called susu. And in Mexico, I visited last year, they've got tanda. And in South Asia, they've got something called comity. But also here in the UK, a lot of your Southeast Asian descendants, what they do is they have umgalelo in the form of helping each other with weddings, funerals, as well as purchasing houses. And umgalelo is a derivative of your stokvel, but not identical. There are tenants that are slightly different. But yeah, it does really help with financial exclusion and enables financial inclusion. And I'm being deliberate about saying that because we had our Women's Month, our Women as Leaders conference on Friday, and someone said, let's not call it financial inclusion if we're being excluded. Can we call it financial exclusion in the hope of financial inclusion? So it does address that in a very collective and systemic manner, which is, community building, but also very sustainable for women and others.
Now, interesting, because I've not heard of the term umgalelo, but maybe it's just because I grew up, in a different pocket of society. But what would be those differentiators between the two tenets of these systems?
So I only heard of umgalelo about 2 years back. So I'm Xhosa, but raised Zulu, but also like in Joburg. And Ikamalamu Noblali, which does not mean one from the villages. However, Lali is in there. So I stopped and I thought, okay, what if I was to identify as a villager? What are things that the indigenous systems and my culture can actually teach me? So I'm an adult that is learning about my culture as an adult and appropriating my culture deliberately to right and correct the ills of the past, because there's one thing about not being included when you're a child, but once you've got the agency as an adult, you can also rewrite your history or your childhood. So one of the things I did is to visit the Eastern Cape and spend a prolonged period of time just understanding what I missed out on by not going to the Eastern Cape for Christmas holidays every year. And umgalelo became something that I was introduced to. And basically what it is it's a collectivized way of living together as community. So umgalelo would enable individuals, yes, to have the stokvel element, but then kona no mangcwabi umasingcwabisane within it. So umasingcwabisane means if you've got any milestone or event that we need to contribute towards, we do that, right? However, the difference, Bridget, is if I help you on your wedding and I give you 100 rands, right, as an offering, then what you need to do is you pay it forward to somebody else, but you need to add a certain amount to that. So you can't pay it forward with the same amount that you received. The ideal is that you increase it by a percentage, which for me became fascinating because I'm like, is it interest? What is it? And it's almost like, but it also speaks back to inflation, right? So if Mignia's 100 rand in 2010, when your friend when you are getting married, for example, and then now I'm getting married in 2020, if you give me 100 rand, it's worth 90, if not 80. Yeah. So I started thinking, what is it actually solving for, and what does it do? And so that was the one element. But then the other one is we're tilling the soil, right? And we are harvesting. So Umgalelo also has got that thing of we help each other with our livestock, we help each other with the labor in an ideal form. So it's not just how do we help each other with resources, thinking about resources being financed, but how do we use human capital? How do we use relationships? How do we leverage the collective social capital we have to benefit each other, which I think for me was where I was like, oh, that's extremely fascinating, because if you take that into the urban space, it can really be super beneficial for women, especially in the entrepreneurial space, and women going into like franchising, agriculture, and the likes.
I mean, interesting when you sort of explain the broad sense of community around Umgalelo. It's a very simple Ubuntu-based concept, but that can be transposed in Western language.
Exactly. And actually, when I contacted Utatuma Cingwane, who is my point of reference with regard to this, I was like, Tata, like, what are the major differences? He said, so Luti. I mean, Nobla is also Xhosa name, but he was like, specifically here, the Ubuntu principle really comes through. Whereas with Stockful, I mean, yes, it's there, but it's not necessarily like the foreground or the leading. Here, it really truly is. We are here for each other, because not only are we collectivizing our resources, but we also live off the same land. So I can't upstream do something that's going to impact you downstream, because we both drink the water and we both need this water to water our to feed our livestock and to water our plantation, whatever it might be. So I think from that perspective, it is circular. And that's why I wanted to add a systems thinking approach to this, because the initial investigation was one led by curiosity, but now I'm thinking systemically, what are the moving parts that contribute towards each other? Not just people-based, but if you use like the ABCD model, like the asset-based community development model, what else do you start seeing as resources that we really need to be careful about and practice Ubuntu? Because if I mess up upstream, unfortunately, it's going to impact the entire village. So I started zooming out and looking at other things, and there are positives and negatives that are happening, but I look with curiosity, not judgment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder, in these community of ours that are to some degree staunched in the ways of yesteryear, right? Because there seems to be a trust and an accountability to systems like Umgalelo, which perhaps are not often afforded to Western systems like banking and investment. How do we begin to connect those two conversations for the benefit of African women?
So, Bridget, you really asked a highly intriguing question, because trust is at the core of Umgalelo, whereas I think a lot of individuals don't fully trust institutions. And there is this thing of the system is punitive in nature. The Umgalelo system is punitive in nature if a person takes out more than they put in. And you are shunned by the community if you do practice that. It's very taboo to do that. Like, you can be down and out, but you'll find a way to make sure that you contribute, because you don't want to break the trust. And you never know when you're going to need the assistance. So it's always good to be in good standing. But if we flip that into the financial institution, I do think that a lot of people still hold very scathing views of financial systems, because at the end of the day, they think, the system always works to benefit it. And there are so many anecdotes of burial schemes where you've been putting money in for over 20 years. Now the funeral happens or the passing happens, and there's a document that's missing, and they're like, we're going to repudiate your claim because this is missing, or you didn't disclose that you had diabetes, and unfortunately word of mouth carries that through communities, and people might be like, I don't get funeral schemes because when you die, then they're going to find something, and unfortunately that then leads to people not contributing and trusting the system. And for me, I really wonder, like, what can build that trust, because it is a relational thing. It is also one based on practice as well as anecdotal evidence and what it is that people have done prior. And I think Umgalelo, because it's relational and we grew up together and our parents know each other, the trust is embedded, because time has been an indicator of one's character, whereas I don't think these formal systems get that quite right, and one of the panels we had last week at the conference, we were looking at financial inclusion, and a question that was asked to one of our sponsors, PPS Wuti, how do you actually adopt concepts like Stokvel into, or no, it was how do you sensitize your staff as well as the team to the cultural needs and the cultural norms of South Africa so that your products are responsive to our culture and not just embedding itself within it. And it was a question that threw the panel off a little, because what is culture, one, and whose culture, two, and for it to be inclusive in South Africa is very challenging, but I do think could be extremely beneficial to a lot of organizations, as we've seen with how the burgeoning field now of the township economy is something that everybody is jumping on, because they realize, wait a minute, there's a lot happening in the townships that we've ignored for quite a lot of time, and perhaps tapping into that can be good for business, but also enable township-based entrepreneurs to actually become global.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you're giving us so much to think about. And let's take a quick pause here for the headline news. We'll come back on the other side of this and continue our conversation. Did you grow up, as you listened to Dr. Nobulali, did you grow up in a family where umgalelo and a stokvel was the way of life? We know generationally our grandmothers, sometimes our mothers, were very much part of various stokvels that plugged into the livelihood of the household. And those systems went on to ensure that you were able to go to school, be fed, attend varsity, and so the list goes on and on. And is it a system that you still place trust in as a quote-unquote modern urbanized South African listening to us? Is this a system that you still very much give your trust to and can still say, I would implement that in my life? Give us a shout on our WhatsApp. We are live on 061-410-4107, or you can give us a call on 086-000-2032. It's just gone 1:30.
Thank you, Bridget. On the news headlines, Deputy President Paul Mashatile says he's pleased with water management of the Tiavaskirkloof Dam, which supplies Cape Town municipal areas. Mashatile inspected the dam during an oversight visit today. The DA in the Ramotsire Moilwa local municipality Northwest has called on COGTA department to address what it describes as conflicts among ANC councillors in the region. And the International Relations and Cooperation Minister Ronald Lamula says Pretoria will continue to support peace efforts on the continent. He says all stakeholders, including civil society organizations, must also be given an opportunity to contribute to peace processes. A full update follows at the top of the hour.
SAFM supports a litter-free South Africa. Play your part in keeping our surroundings and environment clean. SAFM, leading the conversation. Do great solutions start with good conversation? SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. Bridget Masinga is streaming live now on Facebook, YouTube, and X at SAFM Radio.
All right, 061-410-4107 is our WhatsApp line. We'd love to hear from you. Feel free to drop us a WhatsApp. 086-000-2032 is the number that you can call us on. Someone just messaged me saying that they'd love to belong to a stokvel. Well, why don't you belong to a stokvel? Start your own stokvel. Choose a theme, find some people, come together, do the stokvel. Let's go to WhatsApp and hear what's on your mind.
Good day, Bridget and fellow listeners. To us Africans, stokvel is very famous, but to white people, it's called pyramid schemes.
I mean, not so much LOL. And that's the thing, right? We want to ensure that when we have these conversations around stokvels and umgalelo, we also are certain, though things can go awry if you don't vet your people properly and you happen to be in with the wrong crowd. But for the most part, these are systems that have been tried, tested, legitimate, and they work. And they're far from being a Ponzi scheme. Doc?
Oh, certainly. They are far from being a Ponzi scheme. Because the thing is, the three pillars of any stokvel revolve around trust, accountability, as well as flexibility. It's important that you trust individuals. This is not a faceless institution. It's always with people that you know and have like one degree of separation. So you don't really want to muddy the watering hole from which you drink, because if as the Zulu idiom says, life can turn around, and the very place where you might have caused trouble will be the place where you need to seek help. But also accountability is important. It's so critical to have a code of conduct as well as a rule book and a punitive system if people default, so that people know that there will be consequences to what happens. But also flexibility. I mean, if Bisnum Kalelo during the COVID time, we had a situation that just unfolded that nobody would have predicted. And obviously we can't, continue with business as usual. So flexibility is important. And the flexibility also here, Bridget, I'd like to add, is also for the big thinking. I was very inspired. I attended the Women in Franchise talk that was being held at Gibbs by the Leadership Dialogue, Center of Dialogue, and they were talking about, wait guys, we need more women in franchises, and rather than just doing umkalelo for groceries and school fees, which are important, we would actually love to invite women to start umkalelo around buying a franchise. Because what the speakers were saying is that what this enables us to do is to bring together our expertise, our resources, and rather than one person owning a franchise, you've got 5 people now clubbing together, and maybe one might be a person that strength is finance, another is marketing, another is community building or building relationships. And that made my mind go, wait a minute, maybe there's something bigger about this very principle that we can adopt and almost like transpose to other things. What about umkalelo wama PhD? We come together, we say we're all studying our doctorates, but rather than you doing it alone, because it said, the PhD is one of the loneliest experiences ever. Let's flip that on its head. As even umkalelo wa PhD, let's meet in the evenings, read together, circulate papers, umkalelo wa creativity. I heard you'd be speaking later on about the Zabalaza Festival. I love this thing called Vuga Actor, where actors commit for a certain amount of time. We're going to do like a 21-day challenge where we're writing, rehearsing, supporting each other. I've got friends that have said, look, Noblali, once your script is ready, we will shoot for you for free, and then we will ask that you offer another resource. Maybe you act for us for free. So maybe this Mgalelo thing shouldn't just be seen as a financial resources clubbing together to buy groceries, clubbing together for all of these things, but maybe if we can like take it as a principle and a way of climbing up the economic ladder. If it were as economic ladder, it can enable us to also maybe solve big economic issues, but also tap into economic opportunities. Because if we flip it from a problem solving perspective to a solution finding perspective, there's a lot that we can also gain just by looking at the principles and adopting them in a different area.
Absolutely. We just got a message from someone saying that they have 2 properties because of a stokvel, and their 2 sons have grown up and are working now because of umgalelo. I love umshayelwane. I hope I pronounced that right.
Umshayelwane. Like umshayelwane or something. It's like, yes. I think it's similar to umgalelo, but my understanding, very limited understanding of it, is like sikshayela for logo. So mhlambe ngathi ngifuna imoto, or I want to pay school fees. Then masikshayela, then we put together money specifically for that. But it's not everybody has the same goal. We put together whatever our goals are. But I love the fact 2 properties. Do you understand the economic development and just the shift that has created just in that life? Because how else would she have maybe gotten the deposit for the transfer fees or the deposit for the house, or even have collateral for the first property, So I really think we're sitting on gold here, and it can be a big game changer when it comes to how we can get out of poverty and thrive.
Absolutely. And I'm always at pains to try and remember the story of these gogos, and I can't even remember which region of the country they were in. These gogos who literally started a housing stokvel to build homes for themselves. I remember seeing it in some news publication of sorts, and And that was their objective, that they wanted homes that they owned outright. And so they created a stokvel for the purposes of building their homes. And they were well into it by the time whatever journalist had come across this feel-good story. But I think, as this SMS says, it's about how do we flip this system and this concept to achieve the bigger goals. And the promising thing now is there's a lot of banks, for instance, like a Nedbank, who've formalized the stokvel system. And they've brought it into, I know APSA's done the same thing, and they've brought it into their banking system. And they're trying to approach it now more than just it being a savings account, but it being something that can really drive some kind of tangible, big-scale change in your life.
So two things there, and maybe I'll speak to your producer
like
about it,
2
but
minutes.
I think... Okay. Yeah, there's two people that I'll refer you to that I think you should also invite, because one is from Nedbank and then the other is Twasa, who hosts a show on stokvels, and I'm sure she's learned quite a lot regarding that. But yeah, I think you're referring to Ituba Housing Project, if I'm not mistaken. With regard to that house building scheme. But I think when it comes to what the opportunities present or what they avail to us, it's important for us, especially with it being Heritage Month. I always am like, dressing up in the clothes is not what's important to me. I try and focus on what are some indigenous principles, food, as well as learnings that one can extrapolate and still apply in 2025 from my heritage or the heritage of others. And the invitation that I'd like to make to the callers is to say, maybe you don't have to go at that 2025 goal alone, because together we truly can do more. And the question is, what is that one thing? And the thing is, with even Umgalelo, you don't need to do 1,000 rands, 50 rand, and say, with this 50 rands, I want to buy running sneakers because I want to start running, and then you start a running club. So then the running club starts this, it's the small steps that are more important, and starting that is more important than, the bigger vision. And with regards to the institutions, I love the fact that they're doing it, but the invitation that I'd make to someone that sits on those influential teams and boards and stuff like that is, don't just adopt the financial aspects of the system. Please embed yourself in the cultural one as well. So, for example, imagine getting a letter from a Nedbank, after your Mkalelo reception saying, what, this actually enables you to do 1, 2, 3 with us as a bank. Let us journey with you. Here's someone that has been pinpointed to come and advise you, not just because we want to make more money from you, but we want to know you as a person and help you on this journey, because that's the Ubuntu element, right?
Yeah.
So I love what the banks are doing, but I think the element that sometimes is missing is that human touch and the Ubuntu principle under which this is actually the foundation of Umgalelo and stokvels.
Yeah.
So let's not over commercialize in the absence of making it human and also embedding it in our culture and heritage.
Dr. Nobulali, you've definitely given us something interesting to ponder upon. Thank you so much for the enlightening conversation. Thoroughly enjoyed it. That was Dr. Nobulali Dangazele, who's an award-winning producer and strategy consultant. Let's take a quick pause. We'll be right back.
6 years ago, when Amapiano was just a musical instrument, when streaming meant watching water flow, not videos online, and remote work was only said when your remote batteries died. So it makes you wonder, what will the next 6 years bring? Hino trucks now come standard with a 6-year drivetrain warranty, covering everything from pistons to gears. So although a lot can change in 6 years, our warranty promise won't. T's and C's apply. Hino, all the way.
Lina Lakake Tlampokekana, I'm from Mamelodi Sundowns captain. I'm a sports analyst la go SABC Sport. When I'm home, I try by all means to practice cooking. My favorite home cooked meal, I'll go for pap and masonja because I can prepare that with easy. What do I normally get up to when I get a moment to myself, where I would easily, play my guitar? I try to practice a lot of Tracy Chapman. My favorite foreign language is French. Bonjour, comment ça va? So if I didn't play beautiful football, I think I was gonna be a baseball player. What do I like about SABC Sport is the fact that we given an opportunity to educate.
Catch the exciting Diski analysis by Sompo Long Range Kakana on match days live on Latuma. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable for you. Whether it's a civil, criminal, or labor-related matter, we have a nationwide panel of attorneys standing by to assist you. SMS SAFM to 32195. That's SAFM to 32195 and we'll call you back. Clientele General is a licensed non-life insurer and an authorized FSP. Standard rates and terms and conditions apply.
Stages, pages, screens, and more on The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga.
Okay, let's quickly catch up with Zabalaza's artistic director and curator of the Zabalaza Festival, Mdu Kweyama, joins us now for stages, pages, screens, and more. And this is in celebration of the 15th Baxter Zabalaza Theatre Festival. How are you doing this afternoon?
Thank you for having me, Bridget. I'm great, and how are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you for the time. So it is the 15th Baxter Zabalaza Theatre Festival, a beautiful milestone to celebrate. Perhaps give our listeners a little bit of context around the Zabalaza Festival.
Yes, we turned 15 last year, and this... So the festival is a development program in the Western Cape where we mentor young theatre makers and directors and writers so that we can try and bridge the gap between the so-called township theatre and professional. That is Zabalaza. That is basically the basics of it. And during the festival, we have winners and select the winners. And then we still mentor. We get more advanced, directors and mentors to mentor these directors and writers so that the production is on the professional level. That is where we are at the moment.
Yeah. Are you finding that there's still very much a keen interest from young theatre creators coming out of communities wanting to get into the professional level of theatre?
There is a lot of interest. There is a lot of interest from young people. Sometimes it's the means, how to get there. It's not easy for a young director to get like 300,000 to put on a show. Sometimes it's not easy for institutions to just give money to young people. They are talented. The works they will love to be part of it. That is where we come in as Zabalaza and the Baxter to make sure that we put them on the stage, those directors and writers.
Yeah. So part and parcel of the festival festivities is a celebration of the winners of the festival awards. And in fact, you're putting on 2 plays this season.
Yes, this year we chose 2. It was difficult. We had only 15 shows last year in celebration of the 15th, and we selected 2. A play called Bandoke Salifte by Lauren Snyders, which is in Afrikaans, which opens on the 10th. Next week on the 10th, that show opens. And then Purpose, written by Luanda Sindapi, which opens on the 17th. Amazing shows. It depends year to year. With more funding, sometimes we have more winners. It depends on where we are in terms of funding. But this year, we had 2 great shows. Lauren, she has won different awards in different places. So is Luanda. And the director for Purpose is Tando Doni, who is also a Standard Bank winner. So we have experienced young people who are staging work at Zabalaza this year.
Yeah. What set these 2 works apart? A little bit of a synopsis on Purpose as well as Penduxa Lifter.
Penduxa Lifter deals with this couple who need to navigate their emotions and the traumatic incident that happened between the wife and husband. They had scenario where things did not go well, and the wife is stuck in the house because she's scared of leaving the house, and the husband is trying hard to make sure that she does that. She leaves the house, but she blames the husband for whatever happens, for whatever happened previously. So in that nutshell, that would be Pandoka Selifte. And Purpose deals with this young man who is in love with this woman, but he can't really continue with this love pursuit because of his calling, of his ancestral calling. So it's such a nice mixture of production. The one is one-hander, Purpose is one-hander that deals with love and ancestry, whereas Pandoka is a two-hander that deals with family drama, trauma, and
By way of bookings, for folks that want to come through and see the performances, they are running in September. If you can give us those pertinent opening dates and closing dates.
Yes. Web tickets, we can get tickets, our tickets at web tickets. As I said earlier on, that Pandoka Selifte opens on Wednesday. The tickets are 120, and we have specials as well for block booking and students. And then Purpose open on the 10th, finished on the 13th, and Purpose opens on the 17th and finished on the 20th.
Awesome stuff. Listen, congratulations on 15 years of impactful theatre work there at the Baxter. Sounds like two incredible productions to be a stage. That's Purpose and Pandoka Selifte. And those dates run from the 10th of September all the way through until the 20th for both plays respectively. And you can go to Web Tickets or you can go to Pick and Pay in order for you to book yourself some tickets. They also have matinee shows, so you can look at the whole schedule there. Multilingual productions, these English and Afrikaans on the one hand, and isiXhosa and English on the other. It's 10 to 2 o'clock. Let's take a quick pause. Thank you so much, Mdu, for the time. Mdu is the Zabalaza Artistic Director and Curator of the Zabalaza Festival. Let's take a quick pause and then we'll come back and we take it to Durban for the Durban Street Food Festival. I'm already salivating.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable for you. Whether it's a civil, criminal, or labor-related matter, we have a nationwide panel of attorneys standing by to assist you. SMS SAFM to 32195. That's SAFM to 32195 and we'll call you back. Clientele General is a licensed non-life insurer and an authorized FSP. Standard rates and terms and conditions apply.
The National Pulse, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
What about the AU?
My brother, AU is dead. AU is DEAD, is dead. It's a useless body. We've been captured by the French again. What will they do? Have they documented any crimes against humanity committed in Cameroon? No.
Okay.
Have they done anything? No. Have they intervened? No. AU is useless.
Dr. David Masinga, and that's saying AU is dead. DEAD.
Ashraf Gada on SAFM. Find the podcast at safm.co.za. SAFM celebrates its 89th birthday this month by giving listeners an exclusive opportunity to attend the prestigious Joy of Jazz taking place at the Sandton Convention Center from the 26th to the 28th of September 2025. To stand a chance to win these sought-after tickets, simply SMS SAFM 89 followed by your name to 41391 and stay tuned to SAFM as we could be calling you. SAFM is the official media partner for the Dipala stage at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. Entries open from the 7th of August and close on the 31st of August 2025. Winners will be randomly selected and called from the 1st of September 2025. SMSs are charged at R1.50 per SMS. Free SMSs and SMS bundles do not apply. T's and C's apply. Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday, the 23rd of July for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers and a whole country affected by gender-based violence. All on your favorite SABC radio station. Call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC. The SAFM University Debate Challenge is back. The University of KwaZulu-Natal will take on the University of Zululand in what promises to be a nail-biting debate. Join us for the 1-hour debate on This Week Today with Oliver Dixon from 6 to 7 p.m. on Friday, the 5th of September 2025. The SAFM University Debate Challenge is an independent, non-partisan progressive initiative seeking to develop confident communicators, critical thinkers, and empowered global citizens. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This Heritage Month, SAFM invites you to journey into the past while shaping the future under the theme, Reimagine Our Heritage Institutions for a New Era. We celebrate the stories, traditions, and voices that define who we are as a nation. From vibrant conversations to thought-provoking debates, SAFM is where heritage meets innovation, connecting generations and keeping our culture alive in a changing world. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. SAFM celebrates its 89th birthday this month by giving listeners an exclusive opportunity to attend the prestigious Joy of Jazz taking place at the Sandton Convention Center from the 26th to the 28th of September 2025. To stand a chance to win these sought-after tickets, simply SMS SAFM 89 followed by your name to 41391 and stay tuned to SAFM as we could be calling you. SAFM is the official media partner for the Dipala stage at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. Entries open from the 7th of August and close on the 31st of August 2025. Winners will be randomly selected and called from the 1st of September 2025. SMSs are charged at R1.50 per SMS. Free SMSs and SMS bundles do not apply. T's and C's apply. You are listening to The Full Circle.
All right, so we have been playing the promos and reminding you the whole of August to enter our SAFM birthday giveaway. I mean, I've probably reminded you 3 times per show for you to SMS us on our SMS line and send through your name. It was really that simple. It was nothing hectic because we just wanted to be nice for our birthday. So we thought we're not going to make it hectic at all. The competition closed on the last day of August. So no need to bombard us with SMSs now. You've missed the opportunity. You had 31 days to send through your SMS in order for you to get into the lucky draw box. We're going to call it an invisible box. Let's pretend all our names are in this invisible box where we are giving away a set of tickets for you to come and enjoy the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz on us. We've got 15 double tickets to give away. So you can come with your partner, or you can come with your best friend, or you can come with your sibling, you can come with your colleague, whoever is your plus one, whoever you enjoy doing things like this with. And the festival is happening from the 26th until the 28th of September at the Sandton Convention Center. And you've got to be able to get yourself to and from the Sandton Convention Center. But we've done the heavy lifting by way of giving you the tickets, and they are available, by the way, at ticketmaster.co.za. And there's a nice little discount also if you're a Standard Bank customer and you use one of their products to procure the tickets, then you also get a nice little discount. We are just trying to get on the line our winner for today. I hope you are on the line. How are you doing, Mpumi? Mpumi? Mpumi, are you on the line? We are trying to connect with Mpumi. I don't know, we seem to be having just a little bit of a technical glitch from our end. But Mpumi is definitely on the line. I'm just not sure if she can hear me. Let's take a quick pause and then we'll see when we come back if we can get a hold of her.
Wendile mfazi buza kujika na ubomi bakho.
Oh, it's such an anticlimax when technology gets in the way. Now we just got a few seconds to go before the top of the hour. Mpumi, how are you?
Hello, Bridget. How are you?
I'm awesome. Did you not want my tickets? Singati was was getting in the way.
I know. I was like, how can this happen in the last night? You know? and I was actually holding on to the next thing that the line just switched off, and I was trying to call back because I listened to SAFM. I was actually had you guys on dial here in my car. And I'm like, oh my word! Yeah, I listened to it from like 6 o'clock.
Oh,
the afternoon.
We love it.
We
love it when a 6 to 6er is the recipient of some good tickets. Well, listen, we're chasing the news with Ondela, but congratulations to you. You get to join us at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz.
Thank you, my love. And I'm looking forward to seeing Nomfundo Kaluva because I've been such a fan of hers since she was, starting up. Performing in Wendimere, there was a little social club there.
Yes.
And I follow her everywhere. And obviously now she's lecturing and she's a new mom like you. And congratulations, by the way, Bridget, because I also heard that you went on maternity. I was wondering where you're at.
Thank you.
I always listen to you. So, but anyway, thank you so much. And I'm an avid lover of jazz, not just locally, but also, internationally, like the North Sea Jazz.
Wonderful. Well, listen, Bumi, we're going to have a good time. I'm so glad to make your day today. Looking forward to it. Grab us when you see us at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz, and let's take some pretty pictures. Have a good one, yeah?
Thank you, my angel.
Bye.
Have a good one. Take care.
Thank you, Bridget. On the top stories, prepaid meter conversions temporarily suspended, and COGTA called on to address ANC conflicts in the Northwest municipality. For SAFM News, I am Ondelambana, and a very good day. City Power has temporarily suspended all prepaid meter conversions until the 27th of November this year. The power utility has confirmed that the operation was suspended on the 27th of last month. This comes after some accounts were not accurately reflected on City Power systems after the conversions. City Power spokesperson Isaac Mangena says the suspension does not affect existing prepaid or postpaid customers who will continue to purchase electricity and receive services as usual.
electricity supply remains unaffected, and customers should continue to use their existing meters normally. City Power remains committed to providing reliable electricity service to all the residents in the city of Johannesburg, and also safeguarding the long-term sustainability of the city's electricity network and operating with transparency in the best interest of all our customers. This suspension is a temporary measure to allow City Power to strengthen systems, tighten controls, and also ensure that future conversions are handled accurately and in line with proper revenue protection standards.
Deputy President Paul Mashatile says he's pleased with water management of Diewaterskloof Dam, which supplies Cape Town municipal areas. Mashatile inspected the dam during an oversight visit today. He's being accompanied by Rural Development and Land Reform Minister Mzwanele Nyonzo and Deputy Minister for Water and Sanitation David Mahlobo. They will later visit a land restitution project in Diewaterskloof municipality in the Overberg region. Mashatile says the dam is an important water resource for both surrounding rural farming areas as well as the greater Cape Town.
This is a very important dam that supplies water to the city of Cape Town and the surrounding areas, and that at the moment is 86% full. We're hoping that with the last rains for this year probably go to 100%. So it's a very important dam in the life of the people of this province.
The DA in Ramotsire Moilua local municipality Northwest has called on the Koktab department to address what it describes as conflicts among ANC councillors in the region. Reports indicate that a group of armed men posing as security guards has seized control of the offices to protect a mayor allegedly elected during an invalid council meeting. This has disrupted the provision of some basic services in the municipality, as staff members are afraid to go to work due to intimidation from these guards. DAPR councillor in the municipality, Iman Suleiman.
They need to assist in sorting out the ANC councillors that have basically brought us on the infighting. I know they have taken the first step where they have dismissed 3 councillors, and we are now standing for a by-election which will take place on the 15th of October. Of the 3 councillors, because one was a ward councillor. But effectively now they need to make sure that they restore order within the council, so that this infighting that is currently taking place amongst the ANC councillors can come to an end.
International Relations and Cooperation Minister Ronald Lamula says Pretoria will continue to support peace efforts on the continent. He says all stakeholders, including civil society organizations, must also be given an opportunity to contribute to peace processes. Lamula was speaking to the SABC on the margins of the African Peace and Security Dialogue hosted by the Thabo Mbeki Foundation in Magaliesburg, Gauteng. He says conflicts and the unconstitutional change of governments on the continent are a concern.
AU, the East Africa and SADC have always been seized with the matter, and we have resolved that there must be engagement with the state and non-state actors, which is a process that is being led by the initiative where President Obasanjo and other 5 facilitators are seized with the matter. So that process is very important for sustainability of the peace process.
Severe weather and difficult terrain are hampering rescue efforts in Sudan's Darfur region, where a landslide is feared to have wiped out an entire village. The head of the local emergency council, Abdul Hafiz Ali, told the BBC that full-scale operations were impossible with the limited resources available. Heavy rains on Sunday caused part of a mountainside to collapse in a remote area. There are conflicting reports on the scale of casualties. Initial reports say over 1,000 people have died, but Ali says 9 bodies have been recovered. Recapping the top story, City Power has temporarily suspended all prepaid meter conversions until the 27th of November this year. The power utility has confirmed that the operation was suspended on the 27th of last month. I'm Mondela Mbana for SFM News Headlines at 2:30.
Keeping your family healthy this winter can feel like a daunting task. Try the Lung Shield range. It includes capsules to support healthy lungs and immunity, a syrup for kids that supports the immune system and promotes lung health, and an effervescent with 13 essential ingredients to optimize immune function. Put your family's health first this winter with the Lung Shield range. Available without a prescription at leading pharmacies. Lung Shield, prescribed by doctors, recommended by pharmacists.
This week on Off-Pitch Goals, former Ajax Amazulu and Bidvest Vid striker Sfiso Vilakazi aims to score big in the taxi business. He takes us through the strategy and cunning required to thrive in this competitive industry. Tune in to SABC Sport on DTT Channel 4 and SABC Plus, the Saturday 6 September at 8:30 p.m. Off-Pitch Goals, where we showcase how the stars score in business. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
For the love of the game.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable for you. Whether it's a civil, criminal, or labor-related matter, we have a nationwide panel of attorneys standing by to assist you. SMS SAFM to 32195. That's SAFM to 32195 and we'll call you back. Clientele General is a licensed non-life insurer and an authorized FSP. Standard rates and terms and conditions apply.
GovTech 2025 is back from the 8th until the 10th of September at the Durban ICC for 3 days of innovation, inspiring speakers and powerful collaborations, all shaping the future of digital government. From policy to AI, cybersecurity, data, cloud and connectivity, GovTech is where transformation takes place. Innovation meets impact at the nation's flagship Digital Government Conference. You can register now at govtech.gov.za and be a part of shaping the future.
The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
SAFM, playing the music you want to hear.
mean, you can't help but sing when Hot Sticks takes to the stage. I watched him mesmerize a very young demographic at the BMW Art Generation, which happened in Nirox this past Saturday. And he was the closing headline act, took to the stage after Msaki. And it was incredible to just watch. The majority of those in attendance were, young millennials, people in their early 30s, people in their late 20s, and watch them literally on their feet the entire afternoon, singing word for word to all of Hot Sticks' tunes. And he does a wonderful set as well that also pays tribute to South African musicians of his generation and the generation after him. He did a wonderful tribute to Hugh Masekela, to the late Brenda Fassie, to Yvonne Chaka Chaka, and then brought in the younger musicians, Abotandiswa Mazwai, not them physically on stage, but him playing their songs and singing their songs. And to watch a Tandiswa who was in presence during the day, just in support of all things arts, to watch her just shine when he started singing her song. It was an incredible thing. But yes, a really prolific entertainer. He still got it. He very much still has it. And he's going to be on stage as well at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. So if you want to see Hot Sticks amongst other people, then you'll definitely be there with us. Ticketmaster is where you go to get your tickets. It's just gone 2:15. We're going to take a quick pause, and then we come back and we catch up with our colleague Ukoketso, who's putting together or presenting Sounds of Masculinity at the Open Book Festival. So we'll find out what the House of Sechane has been up to.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable for you. Whether it's a civil, criminal, or labor-related matter, we have a nationwide panel of attorneys standing by to assist you. SMS SAFM to 32195. That's SAFM to 32195 and we'll call you back. Clientele General is a licensed non-life insurer and an authorized FSP. Standard rates and terms and conditions apply.
I'm Andile Ncube umzilankati siqongo no George Ntomba eyazizala ke suka le emzimkhulu egugweni ila ke inkaba yasala khona. Your son got a star on his forehead, brightens your every mood when you get as old as I am. What do I like about Mzansi or love? It's home. Beyond football, I enjoy cricket. Or Andile ngesixhosa go Ace Mabheka. My favorite nickname of all time, like Captain Yama 2000. In everything we do, just like the African continent is the beginnings of life, right? Just like women are the beginnings of life. The SABC and SABC Sport is exactly that.
Catch Andile, Captain Yama 2000 Ncube on match days, live on Latuma. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
For the love of the game.
Think about 6 years ago, when Amapiano was just a musical instrument, when streaming meant watching water flow, not videos online, and remote work was only said when your remote batteries died. So it makes you wonder, what will the next 6 years bring? Hino trucks now come standard with a 6-year drivetrain warranty, covering everything from pistons to gears. So although a lot can change in 6 years, our warranty promise won't. T's and C's apply. Hino, all the way.
Bridget Masinga, weekdays on The Full Circle.
So the House of Sechane is returning to the Open Book Festival with a presentation of soundscapes of masculinity. And we're catching up with Koketso. How's Cape Town?
Bridget, I need to say firstly, second time I get to do this. The last time was a year ago with you. So thank you very much for always saying yes.
It's a pleasure.
No, Cape Town's cold. Cape Town is cold.
Is it?
But we are warmed up by, of course, your sounds, your all that you've shared with us today. So I'm warm. I'm okay.
Oh, thank you so much for the kindness. All right. I mean, let's get into it. It has been a year later, and you're coming back with another offering at the Open Book Festival. By the way, a lot of our listeners, might not be aware, maybe they are, might not be aware of where else you have your tentacles in the creative fields, like the House of Sachane and what you do with Open Book Festival.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I'm fortunate in that the guys from Open Book Festival have once again trusted me enough to allow me to do what I do and get creative on their stages. And this time around, I mean, the last time we did a tribute to Mabu Sobukwe and the event that we did with Birdie Mboweni, you got to speak to us about it. And this time around, there's 3 authors that I have the opportunity of engaging in an hour and a half long dialogue. Sven Alexat, there's Remy Ngamije, and Tato Mohatla, whom we know as the artist Book Matambo. The 3 of them have written some incredible books, and my role in this is curating a space where we can take the 3 books, the 3 authors, and engage in conversation around, our idea of what masculinity is, redefining masculinity, and doing it alongside music as well. Very, very complex, but very, very exciting as well.
I mean, interesting topic, soundscapes of masculinity, or presentation rather. The importance of having these conversations, especially within spaces of creativity that I think sometimes act as a gateway to the difficult conversations of society. It's easier for us to talk once artists have created a safe and secure platform.
Yeah, I think as a start, you have the authors, right? The authors who have given up themselves in terms of the books that they've written. And the 3 books are quite incredible. I mean, Alex, or Sven rather, has written a book called The Nicotine Gospel, and we can speak a bit more about what it is. And Tato, a.k.a. Book Matambo, his book Ghost in the Drum is incredible. And then there's Remy and Ngamije with Only Stars Know the Meaning of Space. All 3 books, in a fictional way, share a lot of the authors and how they see the world, but also the opportunity with what we're doing with Soundscapes of Masculinity is on the back of those 3 books, we have the opportunity to immerse ourselves in this subject. And how I explained to the brothers, I said, for me, there is my life story, and we all have life stories, but I'm sure, Bridget, you'll agree that there are certain moments in your life, especially as a new mom, congratulations, by the way, where music plays a particular role. For me, there are times where I hear a song and it reminds me of a specific moment, whether it's of happiness or of sadness or of vulnerability. So how do we take the music alongside the themes that emerge from the book and have this conversation about us as men, us as fathers, how we see ourselves, our flaws, our challenges, our successes, and hopefully all of that comes to life on stage in front of an audience.
I mean, listen, I commend you all already, for sort of convening and deciding to convene as 4 men representing this generation to tackle these issues. It's so important to come at these conversations with a sense of authenticity and an openness. Anytime as a country, or not even anytime, I think right now it's so important as a country to start engaging in matters of identity and gender dynamics beyond even just the Black community.
Yeah. I mean, for example, you shared the song of Babusi Politics and what you said about watching young people also immerse themselves in this song that kind of spans generations. But I'm sure if you speak to Babsiko, Mabuse and you ask him, what was happening when you wrote the song?
Mm.
You know, this love that you speak about in Burnout, what is it? And how is it different today when you sing Burnout, when you perform Burnout versus that young man of that time? And how music carries all of us through different phases and spaces and the emotions and the vulnerabilities of it. So I think, yeah, music plays a huge role.
Mm. Open Book Festival, it's in which iteration right now?
I think it's like the 20th. I know I've been involved in at least 7 of them over the years. But I think it's at least 20 years. And it's been incredible in that, again, it's a space, as you said, where the creatives can come together, this time through the written form. And every year, around about September, the first weekend of September, on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, authors from across the world, across the city, across the continent, gather at the Homecoming Center in Cape Town City Center, District 6 Homecoming Center, where there's various, throughout the day, different sessions across multiple stages of artists coming together, authors coming together, discussing different themes, themes that speak to where we are today as a people, as a country, as a continent, as a world. And yeah, it's a very, very much a creative space, but a space of expression, which is also what we need right now.
You know what I'd be interested in also, Koketso, is knowing the kind of, sort of Cape localized stories that you've tracked through the years of your involvement with the festival, and what those speak to, because it's interesting. There's always a subculture within a culture. And Cape Town very much has that. It's a very big sort of blueprint of who they are, these subcultures that exist within the broader South African culture, within the broader colored culture. There's little fragments that make up this tapestry. And I'd love to know, like, how are those portrayed in the stories that are coming out from a localized regional perspective?
You know, in a bit, on the one hand, there is the presence of that, right, Bridget, of the stories of Cape Town and the people of Cape Town through the authors that come from the city. But also the Open Book Festival itself is very much international in that I'll give you an example. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to engage with and be on stage with authors from the States who speak about Black Lives Matters and what was happening at the Black experience in America. And then also being able to speak to, for example, Lucanyo and Abigail Karata about the book, My Father Died for This, that speaks to the Craddock Fall. I've had the opportunity to speak to Professor Jonathan Jansen when he spoke about what was happening in institutions of higher learning. And I know other sessions have also dealt with issues of identity and queerness, of race, of fatherhood. So it's quite broad in terms of the different topics that it does cover, but it does also very much include the stories of the city, the stories of authors of the city, and that is Cape Town.
Looking forward to this conversation. So for festival revelers, because I don't have the date in front of me, for festival revelers, when does the conversation happen?
So, the festival itself kicks off tomorrow until 5 to 7 of September. Tickets available at Web Tickets. The hour session, Soundscapes of Masculinity, happens tomorrow evening at the Avalon Theatre at the District 6 Homecoming Center. So tomorrow evening, I look forward to seeing the theatre packed and for our audience to also be part of the conversation. That's the other thing that I love so much, Bridget. It's not just about us on stage with authors, but also it's a conversation that involves the audience as well.
Absolutely. Love to hear it. That was our colleague here coming to you live from Cape Town. He gets the studio with a view. Koketso is going to be facilitating that conversation. So if you're going to be out at the Open Book Festival tomorrow night is when the the conversation around sounds of masculinity is going to take place, and you can join that discussion in the evening from 8 o'clock. Otherwise, the festival is running until the 7th of September. You can go through, meet and greet some of your favorite authors. And if you log on to Koketso's handle at Koketso Sachane, you will definitely also get a nice rundown there of everything that you can look forward to from the festival over the 3 days, basically, that it's running. Let's take a quick promo. When I come to Cape Town, we're catching a sunset and we're catching a drink. It's a date. Like a consummate professional is already gone. So I'll take that as a yes. We're going to take a quick pause and then we come back into the headline news with Uandelambana. And then we've got our kids programming coming through. Then we'll come and wrap up the show looking at the outcomes of the STEAM festival, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Big drive to get arts back into the fold of STEAM and not just focus on STEM.
SAFM has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. Under the code, we are committed to giving news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that is not harmful, does not amount to hate speech, or contain violence or explicit sex. If you think we are not living up to that code, then you can inform the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. Direct any complaints in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. PO Box 142365. Craig Hall 2024. Fax to 011-326-3198 or an email to bccsa@nabsa.co.za. For more information, please visit www.bccsa.co.za.
SAFM supports a litter-free South Africa. Play your part in keeping our surroundings and environment clean. SAFM, leading the conversation.
Thank you, Bridget. On the news headlines, the eThekwini municipality says it is engaging members of the South African Taxi Council in efforts to halt the taxi strike in Durban and surrounding areas. Thousands of commuters have been left stranded as the taxi shutdown escalates. City Power has temporarily suspended all prepaid meter conversions until the 27th of November this year. The power utility has confirmed that the operation was suspended on the 27th of last month. And the Thabo Mbeki Foundation says the African Peace and Security Dialogue is not a negotiating forum, but one of the initiatives aimed at achieving peace in Africa. A full update follows at the top of the hour.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable for you. Whether it's a civil, criminal, or labor-related matter, we have a nationwide panel of attorneys standing by to assist you. SMS SAFM to 32195. That's SAFM to 32195 and we'll call you back. Clientele General is a licensed non-life insurer and an authorized FSP. Standard rates and terms and conditions apply.
This Heritage Month, SAFM invites you to journey into the past while shaping the future under the theme, Reimagine Our Heritage Institutions for a New Era. We celebrate the stories, traditions, and voices that define who we are as a nation. From vibrant conversations to thought-provoking debates, SAFM is where heritage meets innovation, connecting generations and keeping our culture alive in a changing world. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday, the 23rd of July for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas,
educational shows, and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and a whole country affected by gender-based violence. All on your favorite SABC radio station. Call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC. Are we ready for a real conversation? SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This program is brought to you by SABC Education, enriching minds, enriching lives.
Asibambisane Zini na zini Ayikhomaneni Haratshwaraneni Say and say Side by side.
Good afternoon and welcome to Side by Side, brought to you by the National Department of Health, Ilivala Bantwana, and the SABC Education. Today we're talking about different kinds of play and why they all matter. As you heard from our drama episode yesterday, how Kanya arranged various types of play for the children's development. Joining us today to talk about the significance of different kinds of play is Lebu Mukutlwa from Steve Biko Academic Hospital. Ms. Mukutlwa, thank you so much for joining us today. Let's start with play. Why is it such a big deal for a child's growth and development?
Thank you so much for having me. So play is all about having fun. Any activity, organized or unstructured, your child finds fun and enjoyable considered play. So play is essential for children's development because it supports physical, cognitive, social, and emotional growth. For physical development, it will help children develop fine and gross motor skills, improve their coordination, and build their strength. When we talk cognitive, it will stimulate their thinking, problem solving, and creativity, which all of that encourages children to experiment and learn about cause and effect. It also provides opportunities for children to interact with their peers, develop communication skills, and learn about cooperation and sharing. For emotional development, it allows children to express their emotions, build self-confidence, and develop resilience. By engaging in all these types of play, children can achieve a well-rounded development.
You spoke about different stages of play. Can you break those down for us?
Certainly. While playing, children learn and develop important skills they will continue to use throughout their lifetime. From problem solving, creativity, willingness to take risks, just a few of the skills developed through play. Children who use their imagination and play pretend in a safe environment are able to learn about their emotions, what interests them, and how to adapt to situations. When children play with other children, they are given an opportunity to learn how to interact with others and behave in various social situations. Be sure to give your child plenty of time and space to play. There are 6 stages of play during early childhood, all of which are important for your child's development. All of the stages of play involve exploring, being creative, and having fun. I will take you through them just now. First one, unoccupied play, which is between the birth and 3 months of a child. At this stage, a baby is just making a lot of movements with their arms, legs, hands, and feet. They are learning about discovering how their body moves. Solitary play, this is between birth and 2 years. This is the stage when a child plays alone. They're not interested in playing with others quite yet. 3, spectator or onlooker behavior at the age of 2. During this stage, a child begins to watch other children playing but does not really want to play with them. Parable play is when they are 2 or above. This is when a child play alongside or near others but does not play with them. This stage is referred to as parallel play. Then we have associate play. This happens between the ages of 3 and 4. This is when a child starts to interact with others during play. but there is not a large amount of interaction at this stage. A child might be doing an activity related to kids around him, but might not actually be interacting with any other child. For example, kids might be all playing on the same piece of playground equipment, but all doing different things like climbing, swinging, and etc. Cooperative play is when they are four or above. This is when they play together with others and have interest in both the activity and other children. Then they involve them in playing and participate in a cooperative play.
You just took us through the different stages of play, but I've also heard about different types of play. What kinds are they and how can they actually help children as they grow?
Yes, there are several types of play, each offering a unique benefit for a child's development. Here are some common types of play and their advantages. One, physical play, activities that include running, jumping, climbing. They help develop gross motor skills and overall physical fitness. Constructive play, this is when you give them blocks or have them drawing to encourage creativity, problem solving, and fine motor skills. Pretend play, this is when children will be role playing, having imaginative games which help them develop social skills, language, and emotional understanding. Interactive play, this is when we give them the games that has rules such as board games. They teach children about cooperation, taking turns, and following instructions. Lastly, sensory play, activities that involve different textures and materials. They help with stimulation of senses and supportive cognitive development. By providing opportunities for various types of play, parents can support child's comprehensive development and well-being.
And at what age do children usually start engaging in play and how does play change as they grow?
Good question. Children begin engaging in play as early as infancy through simple interactions like smiling and cawing. As they grow, play becomes more complex, evolving from sensory and motor play to imaginative, social, and problem solving activities.
And how can parents and caregivers encourage play in young children even with limited resources? I'm asking this because some parents and caregivers might think that it's only limited to resources.
Play is not limited to any resource because when we were growing up, we also did not have the best or expensive toys. So, everyday items like boxes, spoons, or even storytelling can spark creativity. What matters most is time, attention, and imagination.
And what role does play have in supporting a child's social and emotional development?
Well, play helps children express emotions, build confidence, and learn to navigate relationships. It's where empathy, cooperation, and emotional regulation begin.
Within the play setting, can it help children, learn how to solve problems and make decisions?
Absolutely. Through play, children test ideas, make choices, and learn from trial and error, all key to developing critical thinking.
Now let's talk about outdoor play and indoor play. How does outdoor play support a child's growth compared to indoor play?
They are both valuable, and outdoor play encourages physical health, risk taking, and sensory exploration, while indoor play often supports focus, creativity, and quiet skill building. But both of them are really something that really helps with the child's growth.
Sometimes, Ms. Mukutla, one can just think play is play, but I want to find out what are some examples of learning through play that parents might not even realize are happening?
Well, a lot of us do not know that children often work through their fears, frustration, and life changes through play. It's their own way of making sense to this big world. Honestly, play is like a secret school. As a therapist, I often say that play is the ultimate multitasker. It's fun on the outside, but underneath, the brain is hard at work. Kids are learning all the time, and we often don't even notice it. When they play a Lego tower that keeps falling, that there is engineering, problem solving, and emotional regulation all rolled into one. When they play grocery store and they charge you 50 Rand for a banana, that's imagination. social skills, and a bit of economic commentary. And real life moments count too. My son Shamila once asked for tuckshop money. He needed 8 rand, so I gave him 10 rand. But no, that wasn't good enough. We actually had to go stop at a petrol station so we could get the exact 8 rand mama. That's budgeting, money management, and a very strong sense of justice, all wrapped up in one very determined little human being. So, whether it's pretend play or real life drama over 2 rand, kids are constantly learning. They just make it look fun.
A lot of parents worry about time and they keep saying, no, we don't have time to play with the children. How important is it for parents to join in and play with their children? I mean, with the little time they might have.
That's very important. Shared play strengthens bonds, it boosts self esteem, and shows children that they are valued and we understand them. When parents join in play, they're not only building stronger relationships with their kids, they are actively entering a child's world in the most natural way, more like neurologically meaningful way. From OT lens, play is a child's job. It is how they learn everything from motor skills to emotional regulation. So, when parents get down on the floor and become a dinosaur, a spaceship commander, or even a talking banana, they're doing a core regulation in action. You are modeling empathy, problem solving, and flexibility, all while possibly being eaten by imaginary lover. Let's be honest, joining in play is sometimes the only way you will find out that your child's invisible friend has very strong opinions about bedtime. That's useful intel.
Can play help children cope with stress or difficult emotions?
Yes, play is a natural outlet for children to release tension, process their feelings, and regain a sense of control. Play is therapy with a disguise. Children don't typically say, I am feeling emotionally dysregulated due to the recent changes in my environment. But what they do say is, let's pretend the monster is trapped and can't find his mom. And that's a cue. Through pretend play, drawing, building, and sensory activities, kids process their inner world in a way that feels safe and manageable. Play gives them emotional distance so that big feelings can be explored without being overwhelming. As OTs, we use play as a tool to build emotional resilience, problem solving skills, and a sense of control. So, yes, play can absolutely help children cope with stress, and that means you spend 45 minutes being a pirate navigating a stormy sea feelings, then you're doing an excellent therapeutic work. Just don't forget the eye patch.
Are there differences between structured play like organized games and free play? And why do children need both?
Well, structured play teaches them rules and to be cooperative, while free play builds creativity and independence. A balance supports well rounded development for the child.
Ms. Mokutlwa, thank you so much for joining us today. In closing, what advice would you give to parents who feel they don't have time to play with their children? Because a lot of parents and caregivers are worried about time.
I know parents always feel like they're too busy or too tired to play with their children, but even 10 minutes of focused play really matters. It's not about doing it perfectly, it's about being present and connected. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share on this platform. At Steve Biko Academic Hospital, we believe in the power of play to support every child's development. To all parents and caregivers listening, your role is vital. Your presence, your love, and everyday efforts truly shape your child's future. We are honored to walk this journey with you. Thank you.
And thank you for listening to Side by Side, the show that supports you to give your child the best possible start in life. Brought to you by the National Department of Health, Ilivala Bantwana, and the SABC Education. Join the conversation with other caregivers on our Facebook page at Side by Side SA and look out for more great content. Join us again same time next week when we'll be talking about early learning in group setting, right here on SAFM.
asibambisane tsini na tsini ayikhomaneni ha re tshwaraneng say and say side by side.
This program was brought to you by SABC Education, enriching minds, enriching lives.
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable for you. Whether it's a civil, criminal, or labor-related matter, we have a nationwide panel of attorneys standing by to assist you. SMS SAFM to 32195. That's SAFM to 32195 and we'll call you back. Clientele General is a licensed non-life insurer and an authorized FSP. Standard rates and terms and conditions apply.
The indomitable Lions are roaring for a win, but Stamsem Negati plan to shock the West Africans and walk away with a happy mood. This is the FIFA World Cup African qualifier. Catch Cameroon versus Eswatini this Thursday, 4 September at 6 p.m. Live on SABC Plus. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
For the love of the game.
SAFM celebrates its 89th birthday this month by giving listeners an exclusive opportunity to attend the prestigious Joy of Jazz taking place at the Santon Convention Center from the 26th to the 28th of September 2025. To stand a chance to win these sought-after tickets, simply SMS SAFM 89 followed by your name to 41391 and stay tuned to SAFM as we could be calling you. SAFM is the official media partner for the Dipala stage at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. Entries open from the 7th of August and close on the 31st of August 2025. Winners will be randomly selected and called from the 1st of September 2025. SMSs are charged at R1.50 per SMS. Free SMSs and SMS bundles do not apply. T's and C's apply. Bridget Masinga is streaming live now on Facebook, YouTube, and X at SAFM Radio.
Okay, in our final conversation, we're catching up with the founder of the STEAM Festival. Chris Mumakwe is joining us. How are you doing this afternoon, Chris?
Hi, Bridget. I'm doing great, and how are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much for the time. Okay, let's get into the STEM Festival. It's a dynamic competition series, this one, that's aimed at students from various schools. Give us some background.
Oh, okay. So my name is Chris Mumakwe. I'm the founder of STEAM Festival, Revision Game Show. So STEAM Festival comes from the STEM, science, technology, engineering, maths. So, you know, the STEM subject, your life sciences, science, your maths. So the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, they once put out information. The minister said, learners are not taking the STEM subject anymore. And, you know, our economy needs STEM subjects. We need engineers. We need learners to partake in the STEM subjects because we need to compete globally. So I said, there's a gap here, you know. And I said, what can make the STEM subject popular? You know, let's popularize STEM subject. Then I said the A is missing, the art. You know, and then I said we're gonna put the art, and it's going to be a STEAM. And we said now, since we put the A, let's have a game show, a revision game show. So we're taking the curriculum, and the kids, they turn the curriculum into a script. So they sing, they rap, they act STEM subjects. So that's how we made sure that the STEM subjects are popular. And as we speak now, we are in that month of National Science Week. So we promoting the STEM subjects, you know, your science, your maths. As we speak, there's a finale that is happening between two schools.
Talk to us about, just some of the showcase during the festival. You obviously mentioned the artistic element of presentation as part of STEAM.
Yes.
From the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics perspective, what is showcased, and how does the program come to life?
Okay, so we start with the exhibition. So we invite your science clubs, your organizations that specializes in robotics, so that we expose learners to innovation, to technology. And from there, we have artists. We've got revision game show cast members. So they perform for the learners. So they show them. So this is a new concept. Learners don't know how to do it, but the cast members, there are 15 of them, they showcase how to incorporate STEM and art, make it one. So they entertain them, they show them how it's done. Then from there we give it to the learners. They start competing. So they will be acting. So the two schools will go against each other. They will choose a topic. It can be photosynthesis, and they act photosynthesis, and it's a creativity around that photosynthesis, so that the learners that are attending the festival and the revision game show, they can understand photosynthesis better. So that's how the program goes.
You've designed this program to cater to grade 4s to grade 12.
Yes.
Tell us about sort of that unique bracket of scholars.
Okay. So we need to advertise life science. We need to advertise science. We need to advertise maths. These kids, the grade 4 to grade 6, when they attend the festival, at least they see that, it is easy, to act maths. It is easy to sing science. So basically that's how we are trying to, in terms of the bracket, from grade 4 to grade 6. It is just the entry level of promoting, they call it then the tough subjects. Then from there, from grade 7 to grade 12, then that's where now it's becoming tougher, and so they compete on that.
By way of the regions that your festival is at, I'm not quite clear. Which part of the country do you roll out the STEAM festival?
So we started, the STEAM Festival concept started 3 years ago, putting it together and training the STEAM Festival Revision Game Show cast members. And this year, it is the first year we rolled out, implemented the whole concept practically. And we started in Pretoria. So we took all the schools in Region 3, City of Tshwane, to come and participate before we can roll it out nationally. So, but now it's going well. Today is the finale. 6 schools are here, are competing, and it's a success. The learners are happy. It brings joy. The way it brings so much joy to them, they are writing, but the schools are willing to give us the kids, because the revision game show, it makes it revising fun in an artistic way. Hence they allow the learners to come and partake in the STEAM Festival Revision Game Show.
Chris, it was a pleasure being in conversation with you. Thank you for the time. That was Chris Mumakwe, who is the founder of the STEAM Festival and Revision Game Show. That's where we leave it for this afternoon. We've just got a few minutes to go before the top of the hour. So we thought we'd leave a little bit of space for a musical offering just to cleanse the palate. And Ashraf is already in the building standing by to bring you the latest in what's going on, what's hitting the headlines today on the National Pulse at 3 until 6. From myself and my team, we will see you tomorrow. As we wrap up the week that was. We had a bit of a short week because we had a break on Tuesday, so it feels like a short week for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Inshallah, God willing, we do it again.
There's a picture that I carry, one with picture with me. I say just someone I used to know, just someone I used to spend some time with, just a flame that's lost its glow. But I don't tell them of the nights I cry without you. I say just someone I used to know, just someone I used to run around with, just a friend from long ago.
I don't tell them how lost I am without you.
I say just someone I used to know. I say just someone I used to know.
You are listening to SAFM Radio this Heritage Month.
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide.
Thank you, Bridget, and the team on the top stories. The eThekwini municipality engages Santaco members and prepaid meter conversions temporarily suspended. For SAFM News, I am Onde Lambana, and a very good afternoon. The eThekwini municipality says it is engaging members of the South African Taxi Council in efforts to halt the taxi strike in Durban and surrounding areas. Thousands of commuters have been left stranded as the taxi shutdown escalates. In Claremont and Kwadabeka in the west of the city, commuters have been forced to make other alternatives as operations were withdrawn since Tuesday. Other regions in the city joined the strike today. Taxi operators are demanding release of their vehicles and operating licenses. Municipal spokesperson Mluleki Mtungwa elaborates.
Engagements are ongoing between eThekwini municipality and the eThekwini Metro Taxi Council, and we are hopeful that together we will be able to find an amicable solution to this challenge. The mayor said that his doors remain open because we are all interested in seeing this matter resolved. I think one of the key issues that they raised yesterday is the issue of the delays in issuing operating licenses. Secondly, it was the issue of the impounding of vehicles. We emphasize that we are going to deal with that process within the ambit of the law.
City Power has temporarily suspended all prepaid meter conversions until the 27th of